This video will be for Rachel. She asked a few questions about Peace Corps, and I'm going to try to answer them in a concise manner. Let's do it. Do they accommodate you? Yes, you will be accommodated, but you're not accommodated by Peace Corps. You're not in like a Peace Corps hostel or in Peace Corps housing. The way it works is that they work with organizations in the community. They don't expect you to find your own housing. They find it for you. But the thing is, you don't really know what you're going to get at all. They don't really tell you. And depending on what country you're going to, it could be something very extreme, like living without electricity, living without water, or, you could live in a really nice flat. So it all depends what country you're going to, what sector you're in, and everything. On top of that, they will refund your utilities, and you also get a stipend for food and travel and communication. That stipend, that comes from Peace Corps, so that's their way of accommodating you in the country. They do find you a place to live, and they do pay for it. It's not, nothing in Peace Corps has to come out of your own personal savings account or anything. Okay, the next question she had was, do you really get to choose where you go? The answer to this is yes and no, and mostly no. So the way it works when you apply is you are allowed to put 3 preferences. So you have your top preference and then as follows. Or you can say that I'm willing to go anywhere in the world, which is what I did. If you say, your top preferences are really competitive countries, the chances of you getting into Peace Corps decrease. So Peace Corps doesn't actually put out any information about which countries are more competitive and which are less competitive, but you can do some guesswork here. If you look on the Peace Corps website and look at the openings, there are some countries that have very few. Obviously, that would be more competitive. Then there are positions that are accepting up to 50. Those countries are a lot easier to get into because there are more positions there. Countries like Fiji and Brazil and Eastern European countries, Spanish-speaking countries, those are highly competitive because I think people just think like, oh, Thailand, that sounds like a vacation. So they really want to apply to Peace Corps there. I don't blame them, but Peace Corps is not a vacation. So if you really want to get into Peace Corps, you can, but you're going to have to be flexible and willing to go to a country that maybe you weren't expecting. But she asked, is it fun and how does it affect your day? Okay, so I said Peace Corps is not a vacation. Seriously, it's not. But there are definitely moments that are very fun and moments that, you get to have fun, you get to relax, you get to have vacations just like you would with any other job. But I will say this is the hardest job, the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Granted, I haven't had much life experience, so maybe that's not saying much, but it's very difficult and it's very it can be very draining emotionally and physically and just all around draining. So how it affects my day depends. So some days I feel on top of the world, I feel amazing, I feel like I'm really connecting with my learners and I'm really connecting with my colleagues and I'm, having fun while I'm working and everything, but other days I'm like depressed, and I'm not using that word lightly. Really high highs and really low lows, and it tests you a lot. It's not a walk in the park. There have been many times where honestly I wanted to just leave because it's very difficult, but through it all I do think it's very rewarding and it's an amazing experience. Like nothing else I think can really compare to living and working in a community. So if you like to travel, that's one thing, but if you like to really get to know people and get to know the culture and learn about language and different foods and everything, then this is beyond a study abroad experience, like far beyond. If you want to do it, you should give it some serious thought. The application process kind of forces you to do that because it's so long. But there are also plenty of other videos and other resources online talking about people's Peace Corps experience. And yeah, I just want to end with, this is my experience. Other countries, the programs there might operate differently. If you're in a different sector, things might operate a little bit differently. And you know, maybe some people do have more fun or they're spending more time relaxing. But I'm a teacher, and teaching is really hard, man. Like, I did not know what I was getting myself into. But yeah, no, I think it's really worth it. And if you want to do it, do it. You can do it. But it's going to be really challenging. So just know that. Okay, I hope this helped you, and I hope I can edit this so that it's not so long.